What's up? Heavyist podcast, weekly worship at the altar of radness. This week I've got a little chat with Hunter Young of the band Moodring and also the band Psycho-Frame, talking about Moodring's new album Death Fetish, which is coming out on the 27th. He was an absolutely lovely bloke. Here's our chat with Hunter. Hunter, how you doing, man? How's things going?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. I was just saying before we start recording, my baby's asleep next door. It's the first time I've attempted to record a podcast while he's in there, so hopefully I don't wake him up. Actually, speaking of my son, I wanted to mention something about him to you. I wanted to say thank you because he's 3 months old, but when he was like around sort of 6 weeks old, he would not stop crying. The only thing I could get to make him stop crying was the Body Box record. So,
There's
honestly,
no way. I was not expecting that.
I would put it on, and by the end of the first track, he'd be like mellowed completely.
Yeah.
So yeah, me and my wife both wanted to say thank you to you for,
thank you.
for the work you did on that record.
Thank you. Yeah, that one took forever to get done, so I'm glad it's got some use.
We were mosh pits and sending my baby to sleep. That's not really what you expected, but you know. That record, we were waiting for it for a long time. We were big fans of that band, and really glad that it managed to see the light of day eventually. We used to joke that there was like the first single came out a year before the album came out, almost to the day.
What's worse about that is that I wrote Scante in like 2021. So
Christ,
like the first batch of that song were all 2021. And it took forever to like I don't even know. It's
so you've written album 2. We might hear it in like 2035.
I've written nothing. He's hit me up, kind of suggesting it a couple times, but I'm kind of at his whim. So
yeah.
he's at a stable lineup for the first time in a long time. So I wonder.
Wow. Okay.
I wonder if they'll move more towards like traditional band stuff. And if they did, I wouldn't be upset. You know, of course.
No. You've got enough going on of your own, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. But I still like doing it. It's fun, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the impression I get from looking at your Discogs page and stuff, is that you kind of can't help but just keep doing more work and putting more bands together and working with more bands, and
it's masochistic. It truly
is. Got a strong work ethic, mate. Let's look at it let's put a positive flip on it.
Yeah. I keep talking about this imaginary break that's gonna happen, and I'm like, it's
the holiday that's never gonna happen. You'll go on holiday, you'll take a guitar with you, you'll be writing music with.
Oh yeah, I bring my computer and a laptop and be like, okay, cool. new settings. So.
Yeah, well, you never know. You might spark creativity, you might come up with something completely different. So we're here because you're about to put out a new Moodring record, Death Fetish, coming out on the 27th of March through Sharptone. I've been kind of obsessively consuming this record ever since I got sent it.
Let's go.
I think it's absolutely incredible. It's so impeccably put together. It's really honest. It's a very brave record. How was the kind of the process of writing it and kind of putting it together for you? I know there was quite a lot of kind of personal issues that kind of went with it.
Yeah, I mean, I got the diagnosis during the end of the first sessions for it. So what started as like, hey, I knew that something was wrong with me, so I was like, I want to write about this unknown thing that's happening to me. But then I got told it was wrong with me, like pretty early on into it.
Yeah. And
so it was like, oh, right, this is different, and I need to use this record as a vehicle to grieve and to process this stuff. So that was very interesting. And then there's like the whole part where after finishing the record, I said, hey, all that program drum and guitar VST shit, throw it out the window. I was like, we're not doing that.
I loved that.
I apologize like profusely to Austin, one of my best friends, and the co-producer of the record, and
Yeah.
I was like, I know that we basically have to do this whole thing over again, but I think I'm talking about very human things on this album, and I want it to feel human and not.
Yeah.
I could have gone the other way, and would it be getting a bunch of radio play and stuff? Probably. I could have gave it a name that you could actually market, and that would go well. Thanks, Jeffrey Epstein, for condemning the word fetish across the entire fucking world. But yeah, no, it was a long process, and then there's a bunch of like legal mumbo jumbo and like all that stuff. So it took way longer than it should have. I mean, I've made another album in the time it took to get this one out.
Really?
Yeah.
I was actually going to mention that I love there's so many moments in the record where you listen to it and you're like, yeah, this is kind of like a 4-minute kind of radio ready, and then something just a curveball happens and you're like, this is kind of career suicide, but I absolutely fucking love it.
It's really rebellious. I have that bad streak. Where we're like, oh yeah, like you like this? Well, guess what? Like, throw it away.
Do you find potentially the fact that you've got your diagnosis, so you're finding it very hard to go out and tour, made you kind of think, fuck it, like I could kind of do.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care anymore. I'll literally do it. I mean,
no,
the entire point of the band was to do whatever you want, and now it's like, okay, well, you've given me now you've given me ammo.
You're leaning into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. The fuck it attitude just makes for a record that's so much more interesting, and I don't know where you stand on like the kind of modern metalcore landscape, but it's all very safe, isn't it? It's all very.
I don't stand.
You don't. You stand as far away from it as you possibly can, and that's probably the right place to be.
The thing about it is like we got thrown into that, when it was a touring band. That was where we ended up, and
yeah,
I get it. Right? Where else do you put us, really?
Absolutely, yeah. That's it. You got people.
I wanted to be open for like Seven Dust and shit. I didn't want to. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't.
I could hear that. I could hear that in the record.
Yeah, that's my shit. I picked the two as like it's kind of funny being an elitist asshole, but I picked the two worst genres of music to actually be in. Like I'm in a nu metal band and a deathcore band, but like I don't know. Like I the stuff I listen to is much more out there. Like my favorite genre of music is like actual death metal and doom and sludge and black metal, the smarter extremes, if you will. And somehow I ended up in you can take the man out of Florida, you can't take the Florida out of the man. So
I mean, the thing is, at least in both of those genres you've come in, and the music you're making is like the top of the pile. Like you especially when you look at like Psycho-Frame, you've kind of created an entire wave with Psycho-Frame, haven't you? Like you guys came out with that first EP, and then all of a sudden, like revivalist deathcore is just everywhere. Every new band popping up, they're all kind of, you've sort of sparked that whole movement again, and you've got to feel pretty proud of that, right?
A little bit. It was never like, we were never intentionally trying to do like revivalist stuff, and then it got lumped in with that, and I said, sure, fine. It just gets lumped in with that because it's simply not what I've been seeing the kids
refer to. It's not the sort of Lorna Shore symphonic type.
It's not post.
Yeah.
It just is. With that being said, I just finished another album instrumentally for that band 2 days ago.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I saw him last week, and because they're in the UK at the moment, aren't they? And it was one of the best live experiences I've had in years.
What city did you see them in?
Absolutely incredible.
What city did you see them in?
Hampton. It was I think it was the first night of the tour. Me and Sonny, who's my co-host on the show, we went down and we made sure we got there in time. He took time out of work to catch Big Ass Truck, who were opening, and they were great. But then, yeah, Psycho-Frame, they absolutely just. I feel weird to say they when you're in the band.
No, I get it. I get it.
It was just absolutely devastating. You could see like people in the room who weren't aware, just completely like, what the fuck am I watching?
It's kind of big because they're
awesome.
It's kind of weird because they're pretty big in the UK now. After coming through with Malev once, then now, like their London show was fucking crazy.
It looks bad. I saw some footage. Yeah,
I called Mike, and I said, it cannot be understated that your band is actually big in London right now. And I said, I bet you tomorrow in Berlin, or like 2 days from now, you experience similar. So like the bigger like European cities, like it's translating, like it's it's happening.
Yeah, Southampton's a little bit more fringe. We're a bit more on the.
I think they
the,
still really
on the
enjoyed that.
edges.
I think they still really enjoyed that show.
Absolutely, I think it was the first show, wasn't it?
I think so.
We do, it's a weird town. I always say it's a weird town for shows because you might get a lot of people kind of stood there with their arms crossed, just kind of staring at you. But after you finish playing, you'll make £1 million in merch. Like everyone's really into it. They just have a kind of weird way of showing it. That's
just kind of Europe in general, except
I think so.
They'll tell you a lot that they like it, but then they won't buy merch. So dealing with the European touring is like my least favorite thing in the entire world.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah,
dude, Brexit has affected my life so negatively as a guy sitting in the South.
Yeah, it's fucked us all over, mate. Trust me.
Yeah, I don't even know the political ins and outs of it. All I know is shit's really difficult now.
Yeah, so, I mean that was the main thing. I work in like purchasing on in my day job, and basically everything's more expensive as a result of it. And I was just like, this is just annoying. Like, I don't know why.
Taxes and not getting anything on time. What is going on?
It was all a complete shambles. And people who voted for it because they were worried about immigration. It's got absolutely nothing to do with immigration. It's just people are just stupid at the end of the day, mate.
It did not stop immigration whatsoever.
No, they're worried about people immigrating from countries that aren't in the European Union in the first place. So it makes absolutely no difference if we leave the European Union. Complete morons. Our country is full of them. Got a bit sidetracked there, sorry. Yeah, something we have in common.
Yeah, it's rough. Everything feels bad and like really weird and dystopian. I read something today that just almost sent me over the edge, and I was just kind of like, I can't acknowledge what's happening right now. Like I need to watch a movie or something.
Yeah,
like
I can't disassociate somehow right now. Yeah,
I need to. That's literally what I thought. Is I need to disassociate immediately.
Yeah, it's where we've recently had a kid. Like, it's quite easy to disassociate. You can just hang out with him for a bit, and you don't even think about anything else that's going on in the world. It's just you and him. And he just smiles. He doesn't have any. He barely understands how to move his arms correctly, but you just kind of hang out and.
I get it.
Well, something I wanted to ask you about. I don't know if you noticed, I'm wearing a Limp Bizkit t-shirt. I'm a big nu metal guy. I'm nearly 40. I'm in that right range where I was kind of like 15, 16 when nu metal first really took hold of the world. Can I ask how old you are?
32.
Okay, so you're a bit younger. So you're probably more of the kind of like My Chemical Romance-y kind of era rather than nu metal. No, my bad. I shouldn't assume based on your age, should I?
No, I was exposed to music when I was super young. I mean, the first album I ever owned on cassette was Ministry Psalm 69. So I got started weird, and then my dad is like very blue collar,
yeah,
like white trash Southerner redneck type. So of course he fucking loved nu metal, and
Absolutely.
it was made for him.
Yeah,
and so he was super into that. I mean, I owned Significant Other as a child. I was exposed to music super early on. Limp Bizkit was big for him when Results May Vary came out. I remember him being like, "This is shit," and throwing it, and apparently he had the same opinion as the rest of the world.
Yeah, we were all livid about that one.
Yeah, no, loved Seven Dust as a kid. I got exposed to like extreme metal, like your basic heavy stuff, your Metallicas, your Panteras, all that whatnot, very early, and then nu metal was simultaneously, and it was all just kind of like the same thing to me. I just knew one was like more groove oriented, where the other side comes from is my mom was like actually like into like 90s industrial like goth rave stuff, and then just like industrial rock and industrial metal, so I got that. My stepdad's into punk. He's like handing me, like Fear CDs, Dead Kennedys and stuff. So
yeah,
I pretty much got the whole gauntlet immediately, and then from there I got to grow up and dive deeper and find more niche things that I like as well.
Got yourself a MySpace profile and like the rest of us.
I did not like emo music.
No, that's probably the right attitude to have. I bypassed all of that as well. I went straight from.
I understand it, and I understand the appeal to it, and
yeah,
I'll work with bands like that, but it's not. I don't have the attachment to it that a lot of people my age do.
No, that's fair. Like it was a bit of a cultural. It was massive, wasn't it? It's like major label type level of interest, and I guess
you're Taking Back Sundays, your
exactly
Used, stuff like that. Yeah, I kind of bypassed it. There's a Taking Back Sunday record here and there that I like, but it's not like my bread and butter.
No, but then like when I listen to your record, and I kind of hear like stuff like American Head Charge and Dry Kill Logic, like the much more kind of,
there you go,
the stuff that's like, you know, there was the surface level where you hear like there's a lot of nu metal influence going on at the moment. It's having a big resurgence. You know, we have Download in the UK, and it once upon a time it was like Iron Maiden and Metallica were headliners, and now it's Korn and Limp Bizkit. But then there's a lot of bands who are like, you know, we listen to Deftones, we listen to Linkin Park, but what I can hear from your record is, you know, you kind of penetrated that next level, and you were listening to the stuff that was a bit more niche. You know, a lot of that, like you say, the industrial influences, like Orgy and that kind of stuff, where a lot of
it's influenced by a lot of that stuff that's lumped in with nu metal, but isn't actually nu metal. Like, you know, industrial metal. Like, it's where when I say it's nu metal, someone probably assumes Linkin Park, but there's nary a Linkin Park influence there, but it's very Orgy, Fear Factory, Static X, and then when it is nu metal, it's definitely more influenced by like you said, like a Dry Kill Logic, or even like a you know Playmo, the French band. I don't know. I'm definitely down the rabbit hole like with nu metal, and I keep finding like more and more obscure stuff I never heard.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how much of it there was, and you have to sift through so much shit to find the good stuff. But when you find the good stuff, it's fucking incredible.
It's so cool. It's like, as a person who was so obsessed with it when I was like younger, there was such a long period of time where it was like something you had to be embarrassed to admit you were into, or it was like, you know, if you say like, oh, I like Limp Bizkit, it's like a guilty pleasure or something, and then all of a sudden in the last couple of years, it has kind of become cool again, and I actually quite appreciate it. Like, I
definitely get made fun of by my more my better taste friends, you know, especially in high school and middle school, and it's like I like the stuff you like, I just also like this thing that's actually fun, you know. So it's like I like this thing that's serious. Like, you know, that I could actually like have fun to and not brood in darkness. So
absolutely.
So what I want to do with Moodring is combine that. So
100%, and it works really well, and you absolutely bloody nailed it. Something that I read the press release we got sent for this record. The word that was used multiple times in the press release, which I found interesting, was the word sensual. I was thinking, like, I was listening to your record, and I was like, okay, actually, yeah, this record is pretty sexy. To be fair,
is it?
He said, I would say it's pretty sexy.
It's about me dying. Where is it sensual?
Yeah, I don't know. Death Fetish. There's like, the link is there. Like, it's, you know.
Yeah, it's about fetishizing
the wrongs. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's the wrong sensual.
I don't know who wrote the press release. If you could kind of not think too much about what the content is, it has got quite a sexy vibe. I just wondered if
it's not supposed to. That's awesome.
Oh dear. All right. Well,
that's fucking funny as hell. I like that.
I thought so. You can
record before this one. Record before this one's sexy as fuck. This fetish. Well, I feel it's very not sexy. I don't know.
Like, I mean, the record before is much more sort of ethereal and kind of, you know, like
it's
wistful.
Safe.
And this one's, I mean, I wouldn't say safe, but it's much more like, it's kind of like a warm hug, whereas this one's a punch in the face, isn't it? Like, I kind of like that, but, you know, a sexy punch in the face, maybe like a dominatrix punch in the face.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of like the visual aspects of it, you know, with all like the BDSM stuff, it's like metaphorical. You know what I mean? It wasn't supposed to be like, oh, he's with the leather women, you know, like it wasn't supposed to be like that. But I guess like at face value, someone writing a press release was like, oh, leather woman, it's sexy
Gimp
album.
Mask. I know what's going on with this record.
I have no idea how many Gimp masks I had to buy for all those videos. They're just all over the house now. So.
First name terms with the geezer who works behind the counter in the sex shop now.
Oh, dude, you've no idea the people that I've met through this journey. So,
what the hell is this guy doing?
I'm not like a sexual person.
They think you're running some sort of Eyes Wide Shut cult, don't they?
dude. Like, it was quite a process.
Yeah. Oh dear. I was gonna get a bit more serious. It feels a bit weird to ask you about. Like,
no.
Well, all I was gonna sort of, obviously, you know, you're saying about you being diagnosed and the kind of the effect that it's had on you and the record that you wrote, and how much you kind of changed your direction after you found out what was going on. Did you feel better after writing the record? Did you find it cathartic to kind of, because my wife's disabled, so I kind of understand to a certain extent what it's like to live with a disability and live with like something that's going to affect your life forever.
I would 100% be considered disabled by the government if I, unfortunately, whether it's me working in the studio or my partner or the band, I could never get on disability or benefits or something like that. It's never going to happen. Maybe subconsciously I feel better. I haven't mourned the record yet, and I keep wondering when we finally finished it after redoing it and going through all the, you know, legal mumbo jumbo and, you know, the new label and like getting this rollout going, and then the album getting banned on YouTube, Facebook, like all Meta, Google.
Really?
I've been like waiting for the magic moment that that all comes pouring out, and then I can go, all right, I'm good. It hasn't happened yet, and I don't know why. But subconsciously, I felt more in control of my headspace post the record, because I think cool. I bled so much, like, you know, metaphorically for it, that I think, and I bled all over the listener. So I feel like maybe subconsciously, like almost like hypnosis or like hypnotherapy, it's better. I've noticed myself not getting as agitated as I normally would lately and stuff like that. So maybe it has had its intended effect. If anything, it helped me gain more acceptance.
That's really cool.
Because
I read really good that you had that ability.
I'd read a song about like a certain instance, and I'd have to go upstairs, you know, after, you know, I'd leave the studio or I'd go to my room and I'd have to lay in bed and go, oh, it's real now. Like, you spoke it into existence. So, acknowledging it was very weird. Because I was trying to see like chronic health like therapist around the time too, and the whole issue there was they'd be like, well, just accept that you're laying in bed and that like you can still see the sun outside. And I was like, fuck you. Like, I can't accept that. Like, I've tasted debauchery. I can't just, it's never gonna happen. Like, they're like, well, you're gonna make yourself more sick. Like, you're gonna drive yourself in the ground at the rate you're going. And I said, well, I see it when it happens, you know. And I know that's really insensitive to other people with the same disease as myself, but and I know they hate when I say shit like this too, but it's like, I don't know. I just got more shit to do. So
that's fair. I mean, that's fair. It's awesome as much as it sounds negative, that's a really positive attitude to have around like a disability like that, to be able to say like, I'm just going to live my life, man. Like, I'm going to let it get in the way of my life as little as humanly possible.
It gets my ass. It makes me pay for it. So
it will slap you back every now and then, but
it generally gets me. It's every time I go after a long stint in the studio, I'll go, I think I'm good. I'll be thinking to myself, like, I think I'm getting better, and I'll wake up the next day and it's like someone had filled my body with cement and beat my brain with a hammer, and I'm like, yeah, nice. So every time I start thinking like that now, I'm like, stop. So I don't want that. Yeah. I just went through a crazy studio run, and I'm feeling it right now, but it is what it is.
So that's something else I wanted to sort of chat about. Like, obviously, as well as multiple bands, you produce. I believe you work with other bands, songwriting and all sorts of stuff. How have you found that?
Less songwriting lately.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've started to... I think I've said this like a lot recently, but I've become way more selfish with my creative output. So
that's
if
fair.
I do feel good enough to write, I generally want it to be for myself.
Right, for yourself. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like you were saying, like, you know, sometimes if you kind of thinking about, there's only so much I'm capable of at a time. You don't want to give it away to other people, do you? You don't want to give away your those moments where you feel good. You don't want to like donate them to other people. You want to be selfish, man. Like, just take it all for yourself.
Just being so transparent, if it's worth it to, like, you know, as growth as a producer or monetarily, if we're just being so transparent, like then yeah, like I'll do it. But generally it's not. I'm not. I mean, I just want to. I have more fun working on my own stuff. So,
well, you know, you can do your own thing, can't you? And no one's expecting. No one's going to go, well, I want you to do this. You're like, I'm not going to do this.
They do. They do.
Yeah.
That's weird. I'll say no, and they go, "What do you mean no?" I said no.
If you wanted me to be the guy who said yes, you should have gone somebody else. That's not my style.
Yeah, now I used to say yes to everything.
So, what have you been working on? Anything crazy exciting lately, producer wise, or anything you're allowed to talk about, or is it all sort of hush hush?
I've got a big one in May. One of the bigger deathcore bands of all time. We're doing a record.
Ooh. That's exciting.
Yeah, start to finish. It's gonna be a trek. I'm bringing in Austin Coop on that, who's done all the Moodring stuff with me. He actually left yesterday. We just finished guitars, bass, and production for an entire new Psycho-Frame album that will not come out this year. These people see me writing and they're like, I can't believe it. And I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind, man. I mentioned earlier, like, I did another Moodring record in the interim, but I don't want to just drop another LP this year. So I do want to actually utilize some of the cover songs I've done that I think are pretty cool. And there's a lot of like really good B-sides that didn't make Death Fetish, and there's some just in between songs as well that I'd really like to come out. I think what I want to start doing is this like yearly drop that's just all the ideas, instead of them going to waste and in the toilet, like just putting out what is more or less a mixtape.
That's cool.
So been working on that a bit. There's a bunch of like more hardcore stuff from Florida we've been working on. And then we did a pretty large band. We mixed a pretty large band from the UK recently, but they haven't announced their album yet, so I can't say.
So you gotta keep that one quiet.
Yeah, I don't want to, be that guy.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, a lot of the stuff that comes through your studio, like there's a few things that we've been really excited about on the podcast, like Weeping, for example.
Dude, Weeping is the most underrated band on the planet.
Absolutely incredible. I remember when
I'm doing Weeping in July.
Oh, really? What, they're coming back for another record?
Something.
Hell yeah.
I forgot. You just reminded me. Fuck.
Oh, really?
Weeping is a physical, abrasive, sonically abrasive,
I can imagine.
Mentally abrasive time. You know what's fucked up?
I can imagine.
We did that.
Go home with serious tinnitus at the end of every day.
We did that full length in 7 days.
Whoa.
Yeah. That thing took forever too. Around the same time I was working on the Body Box album 3, same type of time frame. We did that whole thing in 7 days. Absolutely fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot.
I was the guy who was like, hey, you see this part right here? And Theo, their guitarist and singer, would be like, yeah. I'd be like, mosh. They were like, okay, cool. Weeping is really receptive to making a song like cooler without, I don't know, like compromising the integrity of it.
Yeah.
And I just really love that band and the people in it, and I will champion them forever. I wish they were a bigger band. I would do anything with my power to make it so. And boy, am I trying.
You are trying.
Yeah.
You can't try any harder. Yeah, I honestly, when I remember my co-host, he sent me a link to it, and I was at an airport at the time, and I accidentally played it out loud, and I got some serious looks from some old ladies.
Terrifying.
It's terrifying. It's an absolutely terrifying record.
Lives like somewhere in between like Nails, Vitriol, and Dying Fetus.
Yeah,
and it's just fucking cool.
Absolutely, that's a perfect succinct explanation of it, and it's just so like overdriven and aggressive. I think that and what's the like it was around the same time we were looking at that like Bludgeoned by Deformity, which is another one of Devin Swank's other projects.
Yeah.
Equally as aggressive and horrible.
Love
I
Devin.
think I just listened to both of those records on the flight home, like on repeat. And by the time I got home, I was like completely wired. It was fantastic. Didn't need any coffee to drive home.
Yeah, that Weeping record took way too long to come out. I'm finally glad that it. I'm glad it finally did. Holy crap! I can't speak right now. I have heard the demos for this one, and it's just as extreme as the last.
Good to hear. Absolutely sick.
Cannot wait. Theo plays in Vomit Forth now too, so he's a little busier than he was.
Really? That's cool. Wow. That's you say guitarist, because Vomit Forth they're a band
he's been playing bass.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
They're a band who I think have made like one of the biggest strides in quality from record to record, from the first to the last record. Like, it's outrageous how much better they've become, and how like the record was called like Seething Malevolence, which is a really good record, but it was a bit just sort of.
It's intentionally that way.
Yeah,
I was supposed to mix that record, and they went to Arthur Rizek, of Power Trip fame and Eternal Champion.
Okay.
His resume speaks for himself, but it's supposed to sound like that.
That's the vibe I would go for.
My version was not going to be that.
No. I guess the new record probably speaks more to my musical taste and my sensibility, to that much more kind of technical death metal vibe, and more crunchy and moshier, and just generally less kind of old school. But I guess I grew up on metalcore, so that's more the sort of thing that I like to hear. Is a big
new metal and metalcore are the same, or like actual metalcore to me are just, they're so hand in hand, especially like when you start breaking into stuff like Chimera, like first two Chimera, that's my big kick right now.
Hell yeah.
I cannot
stop. Got lumped in with new metal because they were on Roadrunner. They were like,
have you heard Pass Out of Existence? It's pretty new metal.
That's not new metal. They did have a DJ, didn't they, or a keyboard? I think they had a DJ or a keyboard player.
I mean, the song Split. It's a new metal song, man.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's
just like 18 Visions has those parts too, like those like the bounce riffs. Yeah. So, and then I don't know.
The difference is just how tight the trousers were. I think that's basically the main
there's a big difference there. Yeah, there's a big difference there for sure.
JNCOs or girls' drain
My pants
pipes.
are so big right now. If the wind caught me, I'd fly away. So
I'm so glad that style's come back in, because I could not pull off tight trousers. I'm too big. I'm too big for that style.
I just hit an age, like even before the style, like the trend happened. I remember being on tour, being like, "What the fuck am I doing wearing these?" Like I was just like, I was like, "What is this?" I've been wearing them for
Who am I trying to impress?
I've been wearing it for a decade too. Like, don't get me wrong. Like skinnier pants with a nice like big jacket is definitely a nice look. But I'm over it. I don't care.
You can look sharp, but I'm kind of past the point of caring about looking sharp. I'm more
Me too, man. I don't give a shit. Yeah.
Much more about being comfortable at this point. I basically wearing like gym shorts all the time. That's pretty much all I ever wear, because I work from home most of the time as well. So I don't. If I could get away without going outside, I absolutely will. So.
100%. Yeah. I haven't been outside in a week.
Outside's overrated, mate.
What the fuck's out there, man? The sun.
The sun. What's that? Nothing for me out there.
Yeah, I feel that.
Amazing. Right, I'm gonna let you get on with your life, Hunter. But I really appreciate your time, mate. It's been lovely to chat. People need to check out your new album.
Yeah, please do.
Absolutely amazing. It's absolutely incredible. If you're struggling to find it because it's been banned from YouTube, I'm sure you get it on Spotify. And
it's banned on everything.
Places. It's banned everywhere. Bandcamp? Is it even banned on Bandcamp? Nothing gets banned on Bandcamp, surely.
I don't know if Sharptone will upload it there. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's hard to find.
It's worth the effort, though. Trust me, it's absolutely fantastic, mate. Appreciate your time and take care of yourself.
Thank you so much.